Hello everyone, welcome to the 5-Minute Discovery channel. Imagine a small country, located in the heart of the Persian Gulf, like a sparkling gem in the middle of the golden sand desert. That is Bahrain, a country that is both mysterious and attractive, where wealth and luxury blend perfectly. Despite its modest area compared to other countries in Asia, Bahrain stands out with an impressive image, where millionaires and billionaires are not rare, but an indispensable part of the social picture. From sparkling skyscrapers to lavish festivals, Bahrain is like a mysterious and attractive picture that anyone can hardly take their eyes off. Let's explore and experience this small and sparkling country, where every step leads you into a colorful and impressive story. Before going into the content, remember to like and subscribe to support the channel. Let's explore Bahrain's interesting name and why it has such a special meaning. The name, Bahrain, comes from the Arabic word for two seas. This combination is no coincidence, as Bahrain's geographical location between two major bodies of water, the Persian Gulf to the east and the Gulf of Bahrain to the west, creates a beautiful picture surrounded by seas. Bahrain, officially known as the Kingdom of Bahrain, is a young Arab monarchy, just over 50 years old since it declared independence in 1971. Before that, it was part of Iran. Bahrain is a small archipelago located between Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Notably, the country is connected to Saudi Arabia by a famous bridge, a fascinating detail that we will explore in more detail in the next part of the video. With an area of only 765.3 square kilometers, Bahrain is not only the smallest country in the Middle East but also the third smallest country in Asia. After the Maldives and Singapore, Bahrain has a population of only 1.7 million people, but the country owns a network of islands, including 33 small islands and several recently expanded artificial islands. Despite its small area and not too large population, Bahrain is in the top 10 most densely populated countries in the world. When you look at the map, you will see Bahrain as a unified block, not just a large island and many scattered small islands. These factors make Bahrain an interesting and unique destination, with a perfect combination of natural beauty and modern development. The flag of Bahrain is not only easily recognizable, but it also has a unique and impressive story. In 2004, Bahrain set a Guinness World Record for a giant flag, measuring 169.5 meters long and 97.1 meters wide, almost the length of a football field. This is truly a remarkable achievement, making the Bahrain flag one of the most prominent national symbols in the world. The Bahrain flag consists of two main colors, red and white, divided by a sharp jagged line. Each point of the jagged line represents one of the 5 pillars of Islam, showing a deep connection to the country's beliefs. The history of the Bahrain flag is also colorful. Initially, the flag was only red, but in the early 19th century, after an important treaty with the United Kingdom was signed, the flag was supplemented with a white stripe, signifying a truce and peaceful relations with foreign countries. By the early 20th century, the jagged line was added to clearly distinguish the Bahrain flag from the flags of neighboring countries, creating a unique and easily recognizable symbol. With its historical details and deep meaning, the Bahrain flag is not just a simple symbol but also an important part of the country's cultural and historical heritage. Bahrain's capital, Manama, with a population of around 200,000, may seem modest, but it plays a pivotal role in the Persian Gulf region. Manama has long been a bustling commercial hub, and the discovery of oil in the 1930s gave a huge boost to the city and the country's development. Since the 1990s, Manama has emerged as a major financial center in the Middle East. Oil and gas, while accounting for only about 11% of gross domestic product, are Bahrain's largest export earners, contributing about 60% of total export earnings. This shows that, although Bahrain has abundant oil resources, its economy is not solely dependent on black gold. Before oil changed the landscape, pearl diving and tea farming were the main sources of income for Bahrainis. Pearls from the Persian Gulf, especially from Bahrain, have been renowned for their superior quality, considered the best pearls in the world. Since the 1980s and 1990s, the oil boom has brought in a wealth of money, allowing Bahrain to build skyscrapers, large bridges and sparkling artificial islands. These projects have contributed to the modern and attractive appearance of this beautiful island nation. However, it is worth noting that Bahrain does not rely solely on oil for its development. Although oil was discovered early and the country produces about 40.00 barrels per day, the country has proactively diversified its economy. Since the late 20th century, Bahrain has invested heavily in banking and tourism, helping to reduce its dependence on oil and gas. Currently, these two sectors, along with other sectors, contribute about 90% of the country's GDP, with a stable and growing economy. Bahrain's currency, the Bahraini dinar, has become one of the strongest in the world. Bahrain is not only an oil-rich country, but also a living testament to innovation and economic diversification in the Middle East. The Bahraini royal family, headed by the Khalifa family, is not only famous for its nobility but also ranks among the top 10 richest royal families in the world. Since the Khalifa family came to power in the late 18th century, they have built an impressive financial empire. Currently, the King of Bahrain, Mr. Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, is a prominent figure not only in politics but also in international relations. He is known as a close friend of Queen Elizabeth II. This year, the king is 72 years old, and under his leadership, the Bahraini royal family has witnessed a significant increase in wealth since the country's first oil well began to be exploited in 1932. The development of the oil industry has brought the Bahraini royal family a huge fortune, with billions, even tens of billions of US dollars. Between the first wells and 1973, the royal family received a third of the revenue from oil sales. According to some public sources, the royal family's wealth is estimated at around $4 billion United States dollars. Although the actual figure could be much higher. In addition to their vast domestic wealth, the Bahraini royal family also owns around $1 billion United States dollars in real estate in the United Kingdom, demonstrating their global influence and investments. With their combination of wealth and international influence, the Khalifa family is not only a symbol of prosperity but also a significant part of the global geopolitical picture. Bahrain stands out not only for its wealth and international influence, but also for the interesting and sometimes surprising features of its way of life and consumption. According to figures from the International Energy Agency, Bahrain ranks first in Asia in terms of electricity consumption per capita, and second only to Iceland and Norway globally. This is not surprising when you consider that Bahrain is a small country with an extremely hot climate, high population density and many skyscrapers. This combination pushes the demand for electricity to sky-high levels. However, strong development does not mean self-sufficiency. Despite its very high per capita income, Bahrain is facing a serious food shortage problem, with only about 2.82% of its land area arable. The country must rely heavily on food imports to make the arid land viable for crops. Bahrain has adopted advanced drip irrigation methods, but water shortages remain a major challenge. Consumer prices in Bahrain reflect this situation. Due to its dependence on imported food and high energy costs, the cost of living in Bahrain is somewhat expensive, and tourism here is often reserved for those with good financial conditions. In terms of cuisine, Bahrain has a strong Middle Eastern Muslim style with typical dishes such as chicken rice, which is the national dish. Although it has origins in other cultures, Bahraini cuisine still retains its own unique and attractive features. Discover one of Bahrain's most fascinating wonders, a tree that thrives in the middle of the harsh desert. While most of the Middle East is covered in desert, growing trees here requires a lot of effort and care. However, Bahrain has an unusual tree that stands out as a symbol of vitality and resilience. This tree, known as the Tree of Life, is not just a tree in the sand, but also the largest tree in the area, standing at over 9 meters tall, with its vast canopy and the constant chirping of flocks of birds. The tree still thrives despite the arid environment around it, while the small and dry shrubs nearby. This tree seems to be favored by nature, as if it is bathed in magical water every day. What makes this tree special is its roots, which can reach up to 50 meters, allowing it to access underground water sources deep below the ground. Thanks to this unique feature, the tree has become a treasured icon and attracts around 50,000 visitors each year. Local legends say that the tree is protected by the water god, or that the area was once a paradise with a mystical water source that continuously watered the tree. Scientists, however, have their own explanation, with its deep roots and access to underground water. The tree has lived for 400 to 550 years. Proving its extraordinary vitality, the Tree of Life is not only a powerful symbol of survival and growth in the desert, but also an indispensable part of Bahrain's cultural and natural treasures. When talking about Bahrain, it is impossible not to mention a special construction, the King Fahd Bridge. This is not just a bridge, but a symbol of friendship and connection between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. Inaugurated in 1986, with a length of 28 kilometers and 4 lanes, the King Fahd Bridge is an engineering marvel built at a cost of $1.2 million United States dollars. Entirely funded by Saudi Arabia. As its name suggests, the bridge is named after the King of Saudi Arabia, a manifestation of the desire to strengthen the brotherly relationship between the two countries. The bridge is not only an important traffic route but also a reminder of a special time, before Saudi Arabia allowed women to drive in 2018. This bridge became the only bridge in the world where women could only drive on one side, the Bahrain side, while the other side, Saudi Arabia, remained closed to women. Bahrain, despite being a Muslim country, has been surprisingly open to the West. This is reflected not only in women's rights, such as the right to vote and serve in the military, but also in international sporting events. Before Abu Dhabi became a Formula One hub, Bahrain hosted the first Formula One race in the Middle East in 2004, putting the region on the map for major sporting events. Since then, Bahrain has continued to attract other major sporting events and has tried to bring famous clubs to host the Super Cup. They are also preparing to host the World Cup, demonstrating the country's development and expanding influence. The story of Bahrain is not only full of interesting things, but also shows a country that is constantly innovating and integrating with the world. Thank you for following this story. If you find it interesting, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell and share the video with your friends. Join us to discover more interesting stories every day at 11 AM and 7 PM. Goodbye and see you again.